It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man who's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Now John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. He gets me my drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke, or he'll light up your smoke. But there's some place that he'd rather be. Oh, he said, John, I believe this is killing me, as a smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Now Paul, he's a real estate novelist who never had time for a wife, and he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy, and probably will be for life. Oh, and the waitress is practicing politics as the businessmen, they slowly get stoned. Oh, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, you are, aren't you? And you've got us feeling all right. Pretty good crowd for a Saturday, or even a Sunday, isn't it? Sunday. And, you know, as I say, the manager, well, you know, she gives me a smile. It's a big smile. It's a lovely smile. It's a smile I've seen for now 38 years. 'Cause she knows that it's me. I would like to just repeat that. 'Cause she knows that it's me. And all sing it together with me now. 'Cause she knows that it's me they've been coming to see, to forget about life for a while. Oh, and the piano, it sounds like a la 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 la. Sing along now. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. I'm going to stop there because it will go on for days.
When you have quite finished.
Yeah, okay. I just
sound like Mary Poppins.
Now, there was somebody that was for. Who
that
was
was
that
for Marion. Marion Gaff.
Marion
she asked
Gaff.
for that one.
You asked for this one. So you've
he
got
sang
it,
it in its fullness.
I sung all the verses and no stopping. And I thought I'd wear the hat backwards to give me a little bit of actual. You know what I mean?
They just
totally.
Most of them don't think it's a fashion statement. As Sally Windsor said, they just think that you forgotten to put it on the right way around.
You see, that's why you're not cred. I'm cred. I am street. That is me, very much. I can't help it that you're all old. I'm not. That's not my fault. And I throw the cup there, over there like that, right? And that over there, that cap that you see, that was from Andy
and Jenny.
And Andy Smye, who's watching tomorrow. Actually, he's going to watch it tomorrow. He's going to watch it. He's going to see that cap, and he went all the way to America, and he bought that when he went to the racing. Where is it? Dayton, Ohio, and that's what it was. I wasted a lot of time talking about that, and
move on.
I have often walked down the street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once am I several stories high, knowing I'm on the street where you lilac trees in the heart of town. Can you hear a lark in any other part of town? Does enchantment pour of every door? No, it's just on the street where you live. And I've forgotten that. What? I've forgotten how many times have I sung that song? And the towering feeling, just to prove it's live, just to know somehow you are near. The towering feeling, at any second you may suddenly appear. People stop and stare, they don't bother me, for there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by, street where you live. And Those long notes were to make up for the bit I forgot. You see, people, can I say, on the operatic stage, there were times I forgot, but the orchestra carries on, doesn't stop you. I remember doing an opera in Czechoslovakia at Glyndebourne, and the great Andrew Davis, was conducting, and I forgot it was the first night. Have I told you this one? Oh, right. See, this is a real worry, isn't it? We're talking today about memory, so this is very applicable. So, Sue, I just want you to know, here we are. Various people asked me to do songs again and again and again, and this one I thought I'd better sing while I still could. Just want you to see. Those of you who think my jug was a little bit on the small side. I'm going to bring one of those, those milking jugs next week. It's going to sit there.
What about one of those big buckets from the garden?
Yeah, that might be good.
Cut things into. Sorry, were you going to point out the poster?
Well, I will in a second, but I'll just. Anyway, I hope you're having a reasonable week. We've had a terrible week, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. Just have a little bit of nice sounds ringing through your ears, and this one is all those people who just find Les Mis irresistible. And it's like every other week, I do one or the other. And it's going to be on the Lockdown album, okay? Just so that we know. God on high, hear my prayer. My need, you have always been there. He is young, he's afraid. Let him rest, heaven blessed. Bring him home, bring him home, bring He's like the son I might have known if God had granted me a son. The summers die one by one, how soon they fly, on and on. I am old and will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He you hear my It's very interesting in your life as a singer, on the stage, on the professional stage. Imperfections are not taken too well to. There are people who make notes during a show, and if you do go wrong, then the music staff come up and speak to you in an opera house and give you notes on where you went wrong that evening. And you generally, I know where I went wrong and where where it was good. And but there are days when it doesn't matter what you do, you go out there and you start, and it just doesn't go to plan. You could have done. It's like playing golf. You go out and have a good round of golf on a Monday, and you think you're playing like Sevi Ballesteros or whoever, and you come out and you think that's great. And you go out on a Tuesday and you hit it right and left, and you can't get the ball in the hole. And it's one of those things where you have to kind of get your head together and just carry on. And often those kind of performances. I remember doing a performance of Falstaff. I don't remember this here with Glyndebourne, and I was doing it on tour. And I was in the title role, and it was a bit of a nightmare because I was ill. Very, very rarely do I get ill on shows, and I think I cancelled twice in 35 years. I think that's all it was, wasn't it? Was that right?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty much, you were known as Cast Iron Johnny.
Cast Iron Johnny. They just never ever went off because
you couldn't afford
to, and because if you didn't go on, you didn't get paid. And I was doing this job for Glyndebourne, and of course, title role, Falstaff by Verdi. It's my dream opera, and we get to the point where it's coming to the Ambassador Theatre in Woking, which is a local theatre, and it's 1,500 people, and Glyndebourne on tour, very prestigious, and we're doing this, and I get this really bad chest infection, and it was really bad, and I couldn't speak. I was like this. And you have to phone in on the day by 1 o'clock to say you can't do it, and they put your understudy on. Now the understudy is rehearsed meticulously over weeks and weeks before they go on, and then they go on and they do what's called a showing, which means they do the whole thing pretty much all the way through. There might be a few gaps, but that's what they've got to do. So that's part of being a cover. That's being an understudy. So I phoned in and made this terrible call, and I thought, well, I can't do it. I just can't do it because Falstaff, it went down to A and up to G. It's very broad, and it goes on he's on all night pretty much. So I thought, okay, Sue phoned up, cancelled. They said, oh, well, I'm so sorry, okay. So I hope he gets better soon. And this is pretty much a disaster. And I was a local boy. I was in the local press. All our friends
were in.
Everybody was in the local press, and Jonathan Veira, local star, da-da-da-da-da. Well, couldn't do it, and at around about 2 o'clock, I get a call from Glyndebourne, from Bernard in Glyndebourne, who was the company manager, and he phoned up. He said, what did he say to you? It was you?
He said, I'm really sorry. I know he's not well, but please, can he come in?
Can he come in?
I said, but he can't sing, Bernard.
I can't.
He said, Jonathan hardly singing is better than anyone else we've got for it.
Because apparently the guy, when he was told that he was on, he started crying down the phone because he couldn't do it.
He didn't think you were ever going to go off.
So I went on, and I went that night, and I took paracetamol. I was drugged up to the eyeball, and I had just one octave, 8 notes. It was like that. It was like this. Falstaff, and the first entry is Falstaff, hola, like that, hola. And I went, Falstaff, hola. And I thought, I've got a whole night of this, and it's big orchestration.
They did an announcement,
and they made an announcement, and they asked for their indulgence and not your pity. And Jonathan Veira will be singing, and he's got a whatever it was, and the audience went, oh well. And on I came, and I did the thing, and Sue apparently was sitting next to.
Well, it actually was a friend of mine was sitting next to the mayor of the area, and he apparently turned to her about halfway through the first half when Jonathan had been on since the beginning, and he said, "Excuse me, dear," he said, "when's this chap with the cold meant to come on?"
And you know what's really worrying?
Hadn't even noticed.
They hadn't even noticed. And that, if that doesn't, I don't know what's more upsetting. This one I've recorded. We might try and find the video of this from the Royal Albert Hall. But in the meantime, this one is for brother Andrew, who suggested it. I was taking a singing lesson yesterday, and he was doing this. And I thought, oh, well, I'll have a look at it. So I've transposed it. That means moved it down a key because gravity, things are moving down. And so I spent the day trying to learn it and on the piano, because I've never really played it for myself. But I think you might know. It's called The Holy City, and this is for Rachel Norman, and it's for you, for something a little bit more classical.
Last night I lay sleeping, there came a dream so fair. I stood in old Jerusalem, beside the temple there. I heard the children singing, and ever as they sang, methought the voice of angels from heaven in answer rang. Methought the voice of angels from heaven in answer rang. Jerusalem, lift up your gates and sing, Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna to your King. And then methought my dream was changed, the streets no longer rang. Hushed were the glad hosannas, the little children sang. The sun grew dark with mystery, the morn was cold and chill, as the shadow of a cross arose upon a lonely hill, as the shadow of a cross arose upon a lonely hill. Jerusalem, hark how the angels sing, Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna to your King. And once again the scene was changed, new earth there seemed to be. I saw the holy city beside the tideless sea. The light of God was on its streets, the gates were opened wide, and all who would might enter, and not pass away.
Woohoo! Amazing, JV. Amazing. It's good to hear you sing that again, actually. And as someone pointed out, not just the singing, but the piano playing. Amazing as well. So, fantastic.
That was difficult, though.
It's hard, isn't it? Yeah, a lot of people really enjoy that. And can I actually pick up a few things that people are saying there? It's so hard for choirs, isn't it? And
goodness, yeah.
you know, many of you are just so sad that you're not able to perform as choirs. You might be able to rehearse, but it's difficult. Jonathan should have been doing the Mozart Requiem on Saturday. This coming Saturday.
My choir.
With his choir. I'm
president of the Godalming Choral Society, and they're a lovely bunch of people. And we were meant to be singing this
coming Saturday.
It's the
Tuba mirum spargens sonum, tuba mirum spargens sonum, e sepulchra regionum, et habite ante thronum.
all that stuff.
That's a bit impromptu.
I know. I can't remember it.
No,
but
that was
it's Mozart.
just so. Yes, for those of you who are missing your choirs, we're sad too about choirs not being able to meet and not knowing when the next one is. So it's a bit sad, isn't it?
And I hope actually those of you who may be listening to this from my choir, I'll be trying to communicate with you. I'm going out for dinner on Tuesday, but I'm going to try and just say hello to all of you just before I tuck into my whatever it is that I'm
going to be given.
Sitting outside in a cold place in
Tunbridge
Tunbridge Wells.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Anyway, this now, it is a difficult thing. I get that, it really is. But I'm gonna sing another one, which was now. There are people like Sylvia Newman. She wrote, and hello Sylvia, and hello to the Newmans. The whole family listen all around the world. They're all kind of tapped in somewhere or the other. And she sent me a list of all the things that she doesn't like. One of them was rap. I'm with you on that, girl. And the other one was GNS. Now, there are other people, Sylvia, who like it. All right? So I'm going to sing this one. Now, who was this for? It's quite a few people, actually.
Quite a few people, yes. Zoe wanted something from GNS. Colin last night suggested something from GNS. And in the past, people have said
Colin
something
Bora,
from GNS.
that's
yes.
right. Hello, Colin. Nice to hear. Right, and this one, I haven't sung it, Sue. When did I sing this? 15 years ago in the proms?
Oh, at least you did the proms.
Proms. And it was with the BBC Concert Orchestra and with, who was conducting? The lady.
Jane Glover.
Jane Glover conducting.
And yes, it was.
And I remember
what I remember is that we would. Well, you've told the story about coming down the stairs.
I told the story about the zip.
You told the story about the zip.
But
right. The other story is that we were very anxious to see the televised prom, and we knew that it was going out, and we got very excited, and we sat down ready to watch it on television, and all the sort of pictures of all the people taking part came up. And Jonathan's picture was conspicuously absent. So we waited and waited and waited. And they cut him from the broadcast. They needed to save some time somewhere.
So they
decided that actually his aria added nothing to the full
Which actually, unbelievably, is probably one of the most famous of all the arias. And a... bum 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 bum. bum, bum, bim. It's a century song from Iolanthe. When all night long a chap remains on sentry go to chase monotony, he exercises of his brains, that is, assuming that he's got any. Though never matured in the lap of luxury, yet I admonish you, I am an intellectual chap, and think of things that would astonish you. I often think it's comical, fa-la-la-la, fa-la-la-la, how nature always does contrive, fa-la-la-la-la-la, that every boy and every girl that's born into this world alive is either a little liberal or else a little conservative. Fa-la-la-la, fa-la-la-la, is either a little liberal or else a little conservative. Fa-la-la. Oh, when in that house MPs divide, if they've a brain and cerebellum too, they've got to leave that brain outside and vote just as their leaders tell them to. But when the prospect of a lot of dull MPs in close proximity, all thinking for themselves, is what no man can face with equanimity, then let's rejoice without fa-la, fa-la-la-la, fa-la-la-la, and nature always does contrive, fa-la-la-la-la-la, that every boy and every girl that's born into this world alive is either a little liberal or else a little conservative. Fa-la-la-la, fa-la-la-la, is either a little liberal or else a little conservative. What can I say?
That was great. That was really good.
Yeah, that was good. And people were overcome with the difference.
They loved it. Lots of claps. Lots of claps.
Okay. Right, well, I'll just have to tell you a little story. This one,
Are you going
sing
to
a song.
sing the song first?
I'll sing the song first.
And then tell the story.
As you know, many of you know, I've recorded many songs, many of these, Hymn Project 1, Hymn Project 2. Many of you have got the albums, and we'd love you to buy, if you haven't got one, then we'd love you to buy one. Just to sit, listen, enjoy the incredible production that is on these albums. And all of the albums I've done have been incredibly high quality and wonderfully worked in these last 6 or 7 albums with the wonderful Mark Edwards, who I'm hoping to get on the show to come and talk about his work as one of the leading jazz pianists in the country, and also a arranger, and we work together on the arrangements and all of them. But he is a genius. He is a genius harmonically and musically, and he's a great friend of mine. And we've had such a great time recording these. And this song I wrote with my son Matthew, actually, this one. And we sat in this room and with a guitar and a piano. And I'll sing the song first. And it's I think I've sung it before here.
Just as I am, without one plea, but that your blood was shed for me, and that you bid me come to thee. Just as I am, and waiting not to rid my soul of one dark blot, to you whose blood can cleanse each spot, O Lamb of God, I come. And as we're drawing near to you, your constant love will guide us through. Your grace alone is all we need, O Lamb of God, I come. Just as I am, though tossed about with many a conflict, many a doubt, fightings within and fears without. Just as I am, poor wretched blind, sight riches healing of the mind. Yes, all I need in you to find, O Lamb of God, I come. And as we're drawing near to you, your constant love will guide us through. Your grace alone is all we need, O Lamb of God, I come. As I am, you will receive, will welcome pardon, cleanse, relieve, because your promise I believe. Just as I am, your love unknown has broken every barrier down, now to be yours, yes, yours alone, O Lamb of God, I come. And as we're drawing near to you, your constant love will guide us through. Grace alone is all we need, O Lamb of God, I come. And as we're drawing near to you, your constant love will guide us through. Your grace alone is all we need, O Lamb of God. Lamb of God, I come.
Now, that song was very interesting because it always has, everything has a story with me. We were on holiday in Wiltshire.
Just a weekend.
Just a
Break.
weekend, one of these kind of what are they called? Not bed and breakfast, but what's it called, Sue?
Airbnb.
Airbnb job, and so we're there. Go to this place. And beautiful farm. Jackie and what were their names? I've forgotten. Come on.
Christopher and Teresa.
Teresa, thank you, not Jackie. No.
Jackie might have been there as well, but it was Jackie.
Anyway, so we're there, and it's beautiful, and it's it's a kind of a building barn that they converted, and it's all very nice, beautiful. Looks out over the fields, and it's got a fireplace, and it's beautiful, it's wonderful. And Sue and I love it there, and it's peace and tranquility. And it's just off the A303. You go down, and nobody would know. It's like the village of the damned. Nobody knows it's there.
It was nice and quiet.
Beautifully quiet. And we went for a walk. Not a soul for 35 minutes. Not a soul anywhere. And we went to the local church, and it was a 12th century church, tiny little place. And we walked in, and we said, "How sweet that is! That's lovely." And so we walk in, and we're enjoying it, and it's all very great. And we come back, and it said, I think it said the population in the year 1000 was 38.
Something like that, yeah.
38 in one year 1000, and in the year 2017, 18, it was 40. So they had increased by 2. And so in 1,000 years, it's not bad, is it? They've kept it a good secret. So we went to the landlord and landlady, and we said about the church. They said, "Oh no, I'm afraid it's one of 9 in the benefice, 9 churches in the area, all within about 3, 5, 7 miles away. But there are 13 of them, and our go was we have it once every 6 weeks or something. So ours was last week, so you've missed it." So I said, "Oh, well, that's a shame." She said, but if you go to the neighbouring village of Marden, remember that name? So Marden, it's a really, really lively church. You'll love it there.
You'll love it. They were very, very enthusiastic.
Very enthusiastic. You'll love it. No, you'll love it there. You'll love it. Very, very lively. So we thought, okay. So the next morning, it's 11:30 start. I thought it was quite late, but we'd go there anyway.
Nice.
So, nice for us. So we drove in, and a little red sporty number I had, and drove into the village, and we got into
there
this.
were like cobbly
steps up. Okay, impossible to walk on cobbly steps, and we walked up into this, and another 12th century church. So they're all 12th century. As we and it was tiny, but as we walked in, we walked over the threshold of the door at 11:30, bang on. As we walk in, the lady vicar is saying, actually, as we walked in, 7 pairs of eyes turned to greet us in this
very lively church.
really lively church that we were in. 7 pairs of eyes. Not the collected age of at least 742. Something like that, okay? There was nobody...
You were the youngest by a very long margin, weren't you?
At least 40 years. And you know that moment when you walk in and you can't walk back? I put my foot over the threshold.
We were spotted.
And we were spotted. They all turned and went... All right? And we went...
Hello.
And the vicar said, welcome, come in. She said, come in. She said, I was just saying to the congregation that sadly, our organist, Florrie, she won't be here today because she's not very well. And so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to say all the hymns. And Sue, I'm literally, I walked through the door and Sue just went like this to me, as in, you can play. I thought, I can't just walk in at 11:30 and say, don't worry, JV's arrived, I'm here, cool down, calm down. Well, she thinks I could. I couldn't. So I said, okay. So she said, we took a seat at the back, and there's it's just a central aisle and people on both sides. And there was a couple in front of us, a lady who was bent double with she had Parkinson's, really, and she was gay. Her name was what was her name?
Gay,
and
yes.
And
Nick.
And she was bent forward like that. And Nick, and he was the man who lived in the manor house, and on my right was the church warden, And she kept smiling at me like this. Anyway, we start, and I was thinking, oh, what have we got into here, right? This really, really lively church. And she said, so...
The first hymn
is Just As I Am. Now, have to remember, I would just finish recording the first Hymns Project album. I hadn't heard Just As I Am without one plea for years and years and years. And and Sue turned to me and went, you see, it's God. And I thought,
I said it quite like that, but I did look at you meaningfully.
And so I thought, okay, all right, you can't. So I didn't. I just shut up. And she said, let's all stand to say, Just As I Am. So we went through the whole thing. She went through every verse. Just as I am, without one plea. But that thy blood was shed for me. And now again, and we went through this, and did the choruses as well.
Yes.
And I thought, oh, right, okay, this doesn't bode well. And we sat down, and then she started the communion service. She went through some of the words, and then she started doing various things. And then the next song was announced. And I flicked in my hymn book, and there it was, in bold language. I thought, here we go, the Lord of the Dance. The Lord of the Dance.
Which we have to say.
I couldn't resist it. I stood there, and I'm standing up, and Gay is behind me, in front of me, and she says, and I went, I danced, and in this way, I danced in the morning when the world was begun. And my voice was starting to kick around this little church. I danced in the moon and the stars and the sun, and I came down from heaven, and I danced on the earth, and suddenly I went, dance then whatever you may. And Gay springs up in front of me, and the woman over who's the church warden, she was going like this to me, wherever. And I am the Lord of the dance. Anyway, we get to the moment, we finish this and we sit down. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's smiling. Suddenly somebody's coming.
Twitter, weren't they?
They're all over Twitter. And then it came to the peace. The peace, the Lord be with you and also with you. That moment in Anglican services, everybody dreads. And no longer she said, peace, the Lord be with you and also with you. We were set on by 7 people. Are you moving here? Are you moving here? And the woman, anyway, the vicar said to me, the woman said to me, she came, she said, the vicar, do I know you? I said, I don't know, do you? And so she said, well, I think I do. So I said, all right. I said, I was trying to be incognito, but Jonathan Veira, the singer. So she said, yes, I've got your albums. I thought I did. So I said, look, quietly, I can play the organ if you want to. I don't. She said, I can't believe it. She starts shouting at everybody, he can play the organ. Get it. So I said, well, can you go and turn it on? She said, it is on. I said, what? She said, it's that thing there. She said, somebody left it here in the 1850s. It's one of those pump action ones. Right? So I said, but I've never played one. She said, oh, sure, you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll be fine. Dorothy was 84, the woman, but Florrie, she can do it. So I said, have you got a music book? She said, well, no, she's got all of them at home, So I said, well, what's next? And it was Thine Be the Glory. I thought, well, I knew most hymns, so I thought, okay, well, I'll get it on. I just went and pulled out all the stops, and you have to keep pumping. That's the thing about it.
You look very funny.
So I started pumping, right, getting the gas going, just like that. And unfortunately, I started playing at the speed that I was pumping. So it was, Thine be the glory, risen conquering Son. Sue said people were panting.
I've never sung.
All right, never sung.
Thine be the glory that quickly fast in all my life.
And at the end of it, they all applauded. I said, would you please sit down and calm down? It's a communion service. Anyway, I went back and I said to them at the end, and I saw what they were giving, and it was practically nothing, and I had changed their lives that day. The church warden's husband came, and he had a 1935 Triumph Princess, car, beautiful, only 12 of them left in the world. And he said, I'd like to say thank you by taking you around
He gave us a lovely
afternoon.
It was just beautiful.
Just taking us around the sites, just in open top. that, as a result of that, I said, I'll come back and do a concert for you for charity, do a charity gig for you. And that was, we went and did that. And then I told the story to the Songs of Praise, and we went back and filmed a whole Songs of Praise. You can see it on the Songs of Praise from Goodwood if you want to see it, where I sung, actually, "Oh Love That Will Not Let Me Go." That's when I sung that one. And we did a little program. You'll see it there. "Oh Love That Will Not Let Me Go." Sorry, you were about to say... I was about to say,
people often say to me, "What's it like being married to Jonathan?" And I will just say, that, really. What should have been a nice, quiet morning going to a little local church turned into something rather chaotic.
Anyway, I think we've got only...
And speaking of chaotic... The poster next to you...
Oh, yes. Here we are. You see that? Can you see that? An audience with Jonathan Veira leading a laughter and song one night only in the Even and O Theatre, Guildford, sold out. 30th of January. How many years ago was that? In 2005, I think it was.
It was 2005.
And now, here's a video
that shows the beginning of that particular concert.
Right.
Evening. Good evening, everybody. I can't sing now. I'll play this introduction for about 5 minutes while I get my breath back. I got plenty of nothing, nothing's plenty for me. I got no car, I got no mule, I got no misery. The folks with plenty of plenty got a lock on the door. Afraid somebody's going to rob him while he's out and making more. What for? Why got no lock on the door? That's no way to be. They can steal the rug from the floor. That's okay with me, 'cause the things that I prize, like the stars in the skies, are free. Oh, I got plenty of nothing, nothing's plenty for me. I got my gal, I got my song, got heaven the whole day long. And no use complaining, got my gal, got my Lord, got my song. Sang awfully well. I got plenty of nothing, nothing's plenty for me. I got the sun, I've got the moon, and I've got the deep blue sea. The folks with plenty of plenty gotta pray all the day. Seems with plenty you sure got to worry how to keep the devil away. Away. Oh, I ain't fretting about hell till the time arrive. Never worry long as I'm well. Never want to strive to be good, to be bad. What the hell, I is glad I's alive. Oh, I got plenty of nothing, nothing's plenty for me. I got my gal, I got my song, got heaven the whole day long. No use complaining, I've got my gal, got my Lord, got my song. Hello, Vicar. Here is love, vast as the ocean, loving kindness as the flood. When the Prince of Life our ransom shed for us his precious blood, who his love will not remember, who can't cease to sing his praise, he will never be forgotten throughout heaven's eternal days. On the mount of crucifixion, fountains open deep and wide, through the floodgates of God's mercy flowed a vast and gracious tide. Oh, grace and love like mighty rivers flowed incessant from above, and heaven's peace and perfect justice is to give to world and love.
Great, let's have a little video.
I was diagnosed in September 2014 with vascular dementia, and part of my mission, if you like, is to prove to people that it's possible to live a good life and to live well with dementia. I said to my running coach, I wonder if I could run a marathon, and she said yes. But then I decided that I wanted to run the London. If you're going to run a marathon, the London is the one. I started running because my GP said that there's not much I can do for myself, but running is good. This is about our future, and it's about raising money to battle this disease, to find a cure for it, and I believe that's possible. I could sit and be depressed all day at home, but actually I can do something about it, and while doing that, give as much of a positive message to people that it is possible to live well with a dementia. Dementia, we're coming to get you. I've just completed the London Marathon. I feel amazing, and now it's your turn.
Come on into the other room, okay?
Yeah.
Is that it? Well, hello and welcome back. What a great little video that was, eh? And we welcome the lovely Sue Strawn. Sue, you're there.
I am here, indeed, and I've just, I'm afraid, had to wipe a tear from my eye because I actually don't remember running the marathon, and having photographs and memories of it always brings back a really good feeling. It doesn't bring back the 6 toenails I lost, but it does bring back good feelings.
Sorry, how many toenails?
6.
You're having a laugh, really?
No, I lost 6 toenails because it was so hot on that day. The pavements were absolutely burning, and somebody dared to say to me, "Didn't you have the right shoes?" Excuse me, I had 4 pairs of shoes. They were in rotation. I had the right shoes on, the right size, the right socks. But even real runners lost toenails, but they didn't lose 6.
Sue, were you a runner before you did this?
No, oh goodness me, no. I was a hockey goalkeeper for several years, and I famously only ever ran from the goal to the bar, or if it was raining and I didn't want to get wet. Definitely not a runner, which is why this was such a huge challenge, and why I think my friends and family responded so positively with their generosity.
So we're going to get into this running thing in a second. I just wanted to kind of go back a little bit to you've known. So in a way, I feel as though I'm a little bit of a usurper here.
Often you are.
Often I am indeed. And actually, Sue was always known as the witty one, as in you were known. My Sue isn't witty at all, but you are. And
Jonathan, she must have a sense of humour. She married you.
Yeah, okay, all right, calm down there. Okay, I just how long do you guys go back?
The 70s. Probably I was about 17.
Yeah,
when we first met, Sue.
Yeah, I would think so. So it's the late 40s. I mean, in terms of years, isn't it? 48 something. 48
I thought you meant the late 40s.
Well, that as well. But we
met at Leyland Church, and I started off in the back row with the backsliders and have backslidden ever since, as you well know.
Yeah, but we love you anyway.
I'm glad to hear it.
But I think actually what's fascinating to me is how long the relationship does go back. I saw some lovely pictures. If you could put up, please, put the one up of the car. That's the one that which entertains me.
Well, Sue and I, there's quite a story that goes with that, isn't there, Sue?
There is. That was my Hillman Husky.
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And actually,
nobody believes us. It was a Hillman Husky, which I like to call a Hillman in state.
Yes. But what I remember is that you gave me my first driving lesson in that car.
Yeah, do you know, my memory's not great, but I remember that distinctly, and that's when I first went grey.
Yes, and actually I remember going round, I think it was a Sainsbury's car park or something like that, and you telling me to change into 3rd gear, and me saying, "But that's too fast, I can't do it!"
And do you know something, Sue? She's still saying that, and that's along the M4. And I say, change!
Well, Sue and I changed the dashboard on my Hillman Husky with an A4 notepad and a pen,
yes,
and a lot of calling out of wire colours.
Yes.
And we got it all finished except for one indicator.
Yeah, absolutely. But whoever sorted it out for us was very impressed, wasn't he? That
I think it was actually Graham Rendell.
I think he was shocked.
I love this. Look, we could be bantering with old buddies for years on this one, couldn't we? Story after story.
But Rachel, can you put up the picture of Sue with Dan and Matt? So Dan is the one in the baby carrier on Sue's back, and Matt is the blonde one next to her.
Yeah,
And I'm the one in the CNA ski jacket.
Yes, looking very svelte.
which is that's Matt now, and that's Dan. And I don't think we can.
So
see
you
that
don't
in
want to do another reconstruction of that picture, Sue? You don't fancy that
No,
particularly?
we did have a bit of a laugh about that on the phone, but I'm afraid it degenerated, didn't it? And
did a
it
bit,
poor
yes.
Dan. Sorry.
But you had, I think, actually, I think what's interesting is that you go way, way, way back, and your friendship has endured all this time. And I for one, am deeply impressed by this. And we love longevity in friendships is something that, as you get older, you start to value more and more, don't you?
Absolutely right. Yep. And one of the things I would say, and I hope Sue agrees with me, that whenever we pick up the phone, if it's been 6 months or 6 minutes, it's always the same.
Yeah.
You know, we
Straight back.
don't have to go through lots of explaining, or, you know, we can just be ourselves. And I really value that, particularly now with my current diagnosis. You know, I don't have to explain things.
Well, actually, Sue, we've already been chatting. Actually, I was just going to say, no, we can just a little bit more, because I want to sing a song about that. Actually, I think actually friendship. Have you found? I mean, we're going to talk a little bit. When it was 2014, you got some bad news, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I'd had symptoms since December 2012, and I was undergoing lots of tests, and dementia hadn't even crossed my mind, dare I say it. And then in September 2014, yes, I have got notes here in front of me, I was told that actually I have got vascular dementia, and my first reaction was actually, thank goodness I knew there was something wrong, followed by,
Yes.
oh no, not vascular dementia, because my only experience of that was an elderly neighbour who became quite unpleasant during the course of her dementia. And I spent probably 15 to 18 months thinking that actually, what's the point? I can't offer anything to people in life. I may as well just sort of sit back and let the world go by. And then I had the old light bulb moment of, actually, no, I could get up off my backside and do something. So I ran a marathon.
Yeah, but I mean, let's hold on. I think that took a little bit longer than between. From my, you ran in 2018, didn't you?
Yes, I did, yeah.
So there was quite a long time, because one of the things about living with this disease is, and it is, I speak as a kidney patient, and I'm living with kidney disease. I'm not. One has to kind of say you're living with Alzheimer's, and your quality of life is, you know, it comes and goes like mine, and it's things that there's good and there's bad. But you're living with this disease. There were 4 years, a whole 4 years before you ran the marathon. So there were lots of other things that were going on during that 4-year period, were there not?
No, most of the things that I've done in terms of fundraising and awareness raising happened after the marathon. Leading up to the marathon, I mean, it took me a year to train for the marathon, and it was after the marathon that I made a few TV appearances. The restaurant that makes mistakes.
Yeah. We're gonna get into that. We're getting into
Oh,
that.
are we? Okay,
we're gonna get
fine.
into that in a second, because I think actually I'm gonna sing a song, because I think actually I'll just hold. No, I'm gonna put it in here. We'll sing a song. I was gonna say join in with me, but actually you are to singing what Margaret Thatcher was to scuba diving. So
You're absolutely right. Although, Jonathan, in fairness, the song you should be singing is This Town Ain't Big Enough for the Both of Us, because my ego is nearly as big as yours.
yeah, it nearly is. I tell you, but you're doing a lot more than I have recently. I'll tell you that right now. But this song, and I think it's very appropriate. You've Got a Friend. Just stay on the line, Sue, and we'll be back with you in about 4 minutes. When you're down and troubled, and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right.
Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend.
Do you want to sing this verse? Go on, give it a shot.
If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow,
Ooh, keep your head together and call my name out loud, and soon I'll be knocking at your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. Now ain't it good to know that you've got a friend when people can be so cold? They'll hurt you
and desert you,
and take your soul if you let them. Oh, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. Oh, darling.
you've got a friend.
Oh, darling.
You've got a friend.
Oh, my darling.
You've got a friend.
My sweet darling.
You've got a friend.
Oh,
You've got a friend.
True to last time.
You've got a
friend.
Well, she's not too bad, is she, after all these years, Sue?
Sorry, pardon?
She can still sing, can't she? That's
I
Sue.
I can't hear you properly.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Good, excellent. She's still got a good voice.
Your wife has got a wonderful voice. In fact, I'd rather if she'd sung that on her own. But sorry, that's all your fans are going to hate me, aren't they?
No, that's lovely, Sue.
Sue has got a beautiful voice and always has had.
Yeah,
Even when I was
good.
sitting in the back row with the backsliders, I could hear her lovely voice.
Well, Sue, now tell us a little bit more about. Sue wants to ask a question. Hold on, over to Sue.
Sue, what I want to know is how lockdown has been for you with the vascular dementia. How's it been working for you?
It's been very tough, and what I want to say first off is I realise that lockdown has been tough for everybody on all sorts of levels. But for me personally, with my vascular dementia, my stress levels have been really, really high. I've been very anxious. I have terrific mood swings. Poor Sheila, my partner of 28 years. Well, 28 years next week, if we're spared. She puts up with all sorts. I get very tense about noises off. So, for example, Sheila can go to the cutlery drawer to get a knife out, and it sounds to me as though she's tipped the whole cutlery drawer on the floor, and I will shout and leap in the air. And because I'm still what's known as high functioning, I'm aware that I'm doing that, and that's really upsetting, because obviously I don't want to shout at Sheila, but I know that that's how things are going to be in the future as the dementia progresses. I've talked to some other friends who live with dementia, and most of us have been affected in the same way, in that we've become more tense. Only one of my fellow volunteers from the restaurant that makes mistakes was actually pleased with lockdown, because he said he's been able to get on with things he's been meaning to do for ages. But it's also about isolation for people living with dementia, and particularly those in care homes who rely on seeing that friendly face. They're not even seeing a friendly staff member's face because they've got PPE on. And there are some horrendous figures. I can't quote figures. It's not one of the things that I can do. But I do know that the figures of the numbers of people who've died during this pandemic who had a dementia diagnosis, the figures are very scary. And some of those will have died because, dare I say it, they have lost the will to live. And you know, I try not to worry about the future, but occasionally I do have those down days where I think, goodness me, what's it going to be like? Vascular dementia is a stepped progression, unlike Alzheimer's, which is a more of a gradual process. And you know, if I take the next step in terms of having another episode, I don't know where that's going to leave me and the people who I care about. I may not know about it, but they certainly will. So, sorry, that's a very long answer to your question.
No, it's an honest answer. And I think actually it takes people how it takes people, and we've noticed with my our own relations who are involved in this in a very acute level, how it takes them in a different direction, actually almost daily. They don't quite know, and minute by minute. And so tell us a little bit about that for people. What are some of your coping strategies for dealing with this? Because people talk to you and they say things like, oh, you don't, I forget things too, that kind of very unhelpful thing.
When people do that, and people will often say to me, oh, you don't look like you've got dementia. Well, the trouble is a smack in the mouth often offends. So what I usually try and say is, well, what does somebody with dementia look like? There is no stereotypical, sadly, in terms of educating people, we still need to remind people that it's not just the elderly who can be diagnosed. You know, I was only 55 or 6, something like that, and I know people younger. And I know people are trying to make me feel better. I've got friends who will often say, see, you remembered that phone number? And initially it made me feel that they didn't believe me. And I know that's ridiculous, because why would you make up dementia, for goodness sake? But now I try and be a little kinder and appreciate that they're trying to make me feel better, and they have no idea what my day-to-day life is like, and how when I do my community speaking, I'll have to rest for 2 days afterwards and not see anybody. But it's a very, very important part of my well-being, is to be able to do that, and I've really missed it during the last however many weeks we've been locked down.
Have you enjoyed, actually? You said before the programme came on, you were saying that you were a bit anxious about this program, about coming on and speaking. Does that increase your stress levels, and therefore does it make it worse afterwards? Do you have to pay the price for it afterwards, as you're saying?
It's not. It doesn't make it worse because I'm doing something I really enjoy. Yes. As Sheila pointed out, you're talking about your favourite subject, and yes. I said, "Oh, do you mean dementia?" She said, "No, yourself."
Yeah, that's nice.
But I've sort of found a bit of a niche, if you like, and it really helps me to be able to talk to people about my little story. And that's why I signed up, if you like, with Alzheimer's Research UK.
Yes.
As a community speaker, because I really, really think research is vital, and this particular charity, our particular charity, is likely to lose up to 45% of the annual income this year because of coronavirus. Now, I know that there are plenty of other charities in the same boat, but I can only speak about the charity that I'm passionate about. Scientists are now looking at staged returns to work. Some labs are beginning to open again, and obviously they will carry on with their work. And the one thing I'd like to share with people is that I don't know much about science, but what I do know is that lung disease, heart disease, liver disease, people are finding cures for that because they can work on live tissue. You can't work on a live brain. So our scientists are having to go back a couple of steps and recreate brains before they can even start working on them. And so, it puts them on the back foot, if you like, in terms of comparing with other researchers. Sorry, I've digressed again.
No, you don't. You're bang on the point. And I think we try in these evenings to always head towards a positive. However, one often finds that you can describe the problem, and we often like to actually see what do you see as helping. People are out there, Sue, at the moment who are living with a partner with dementia, their mother, their father, their wife, their husband, whatever, and they are their sister, their brother, and they don't know. How can you bring any comfort to them at all in terms of how to cope with them and how to feel, to live with that person? Is it?
The first thing to say is that you've met one person with dementia. That's all you've done. You've only met one person with dementia. We are all different. Even if I had been diagnosed on the same day as someone the same age as me with exactly the same type of dementia, we will all act differently. And the very, very first thing to say, as you would with anybody, is be kind. Don't try and remind people. Don't ask them if they remember things. Do you remember when?
Really?
I personally find photographs and music absolutely vital. Sheila's got a list of some of my favourite pieces of music. We've talked about the time when perhaps I won't be as capable as I am now, and we've had some really hard talks about it. And she knows that I want, wherever I am, I want to have my photographs and my music. And photographs are a good way to get into a conversation with people, even if it's a non-verbal conversation. Sharing happy moments. Again, I don't want to mention a name, but there's someone who lives not very far from me here who I met through running, and she is caring for her mother. And I know that she is having an incredibly difficult time at the moment, and we've been trying to think of things that might help her with the situation with her mum, like getting a child's iPad to help her with that. But it changes every day, and that's the nature of the disease, is that somebody can be having a great day today, and tomorrow they don't even remember that you've been there.
Yeah, it's a wipeout, isn't it? Yeah. And
yes.
Yeah.
But we do remember the emotions that go with things.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think that's something really important. So for me, you played that video and I immediately grinned and then burst into tears.
Yes.
But that was great, because that's one of my greatest achievements. And, it stirs the emotions. And I think if you can find something that can touch a chord with your loved one, a happy memory, it may be that sadly they have gone beyond that and they're not able to remember. And, get help from the professionals if they're in a care home where you've got good staff.
Yes.
See what the staff can do to help. And please, carers is on my list here of notes of things that I wanted to mention. You say people living with dementia, and it's not just those of us with the diagnosis, as you know. You guys are living with dementia, and lots of people, lots of your viewers, listeners, fans, will be living with dementia with a friend, with a family member. And it's the unpaid carers, the behind-the-scenes people who have to put up with a heck of a lot. And we mustn't forget them. I don't know if any of you, your viewers, listeners, saw the programme recently with Scott Mitchell, who's Barbara Windsor's husband, called Living with Dementia.
Yeah,
and he has been wonderful in raising awareness of what people who are caring for someone with dementia are going through. There's very, very little help out there, and we are saving, the carers are saving thousands of pounds, by doing that unpaid caring, but at what cost to their own mental health?
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel very passionately about it.
No, that's why we had you on, because you're passionate about. We have people on who are passionate about what they're going through and what they feel about about diseases and situations with people. We've got to wind it up. I just wanted to kind of say, Sue, that you ran this extraordinary time. Can you remember? Can you remember? How 7 hours?
Apparently. One of my symptoms is actually I have no concept of the passage of time.
That's useful then, isn't it?
we could have been speaking for 5 minutes or 5 hours. So actually running for 7 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, was it 7 hours? Oh, well, okay.
Well, that's...
I know you want to wind up, and I understand that.
No, go on.
Can I just mention, you saying you've got a friend. I have made a wonderful array of friends through my running. Lots and lots of people who run for Alzheimer's Research UK and also the Dementia Revolution. And they are lifesavers for me because I can share things on our Facebook page that I can't share with other people. So I wanted to thank them. And on a positive note, I have a devastating diagnosis, but I actually have a very good life. Mm. And, I do feel fulfilled in what I'm doing, which is why I've set up my new Just Giving page.
Which we will put, is coming up on the screen now, the Just Giving page. And
tell us about it, Sue.
I've already raised £16,500 for Alzheimer's Research UK because I believe that research is so vital. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be lovely to get to 20k, not running, by the end of 2020? So I've set up the Just Giving page. And then as I said to Sheila, well, I can't just set up a Just Giving page and expect people to just give. So when I reach 20,000, I can't believe I'm actually saying this. I'm terrified. I'm going to have my head shaved. You know how vain I am. Well, Jonathan, you're equally vain, but you haven't got any hair.
But it won't make any difference to me.
No, exactly. But it will make a difference to me. So in some ways, I'd quite like people to give generously and soon so I can get it over with.
Yes. I'll come and cut it if you want.
Sorry?
I'll come and cut it all off if you want. I've got a trimmer.
Yeah, I might go to my hairdresser. I did actually text my hairdresser and say, if I cut all my hair off, will it grow back? And she laughed and said, yes, but I don't know how long it'll take.
Sue, we're get
sorry.
Alzheimer's Research UK. That's who the Just Giving page, Alzheimer's Research UK. Just be absolutely clear, that's the charity that we're giving to tonight. And if people want to speak to Sue, could you speak to us first, and then we will pass on your message to Sue, and if appropriate, then we can do what we need to do there. But you do it all through us if there's an issue that's been raised. Sue, you've been absolutely lovely. You've picked a song which is kind of ironic and beautiful, and it's called I Can't Run Away.
Can I thank you both for your time, and I know that the charity, whatever we get from this, is always a bonus. But thank you for letting me share my story.
Well, I'm sure the listeners have enjoyed listening and really inspired. You've been really inspiring. Thank you, Sue.
Bless you. Lots of love.
God bless
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. This was from, she picked us from an album that she loves, actually, which is Life and Soul, which goes back 20 years, which is one of the featured albums this week, I suppose. And it goes like this. I can ride on the wings of the morning. I can fly to the ends of the sea. I can hide in the sands of forever, but you will keep following me. I can laugh from my ivory tower, making plans for how great I shall be. I can sleep in my dreams of the future. Even there you'll be following me. I can run away, I can hide away, I can find a way from you. You have the words of life. See me and know my heart. Help me to stay and live closer to you. Closer to I could fall to the land of the dying, but your love would be bound to pursue. I could hide until darkness surrounds me, but the night could not hide me from you. I can't run away, I can't hide away, I can't find a way from you. You have the words of life. See me and know my heart. Help me to stay and live closer to you. Oh, I can't run away, I can't hide away, I can't find a way from you. You have the words of life. See me and know my heart. Help me to stay and live closer to you. Closer to you. Been a long time since I've sung that too. Now, I've got to play this for you.
Thank you, Sue. Everyone's been finding you very inspirational. So
Really?
thank you for coming on and just inspiring every single one of us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's interesting. I mean, you know, Sue may forget some of what went on today, but I hope she'll be left with the residual feeling of this community.
Yeah.
Of people, remember, I said it right at the beginning, it's a community of people with faith, with no faith, with little faith, with a tiny faith. And I find it lovely, Sue, that you picked that song. I can't run away, I can't find a way. You have the words of life. You you may have sat on the back row of the backsliders, But there you go. I love this. I love the songs that you pick. This one actually is for Jackie, and I also play it always. I always play this song for Kieran Doran, who had a brain injury some few years ago, and he bought this album, Hymns Project 1, and he played this. I think he wore it out on when he was getting better, and this just kept him. The album kept him calm. But this particular song, I think, this arrangement between Mark Edwards. Mark Newman had nothing to do with it. All right, there we go.
Be still for the presence of the Lord, the Holy One is here. Come bow before Him now with reverence and fear. In Him mercy is found. We stand on holy ground. Be still for the presence of the Lord, the Holy One is here. Be still, for the glory of the Lord is shining all around. He burns with holy fire, with splendor He is crowned. The sign, our radiant King of light. Be still, for the glory of the Lord is shining all around. Be still, for the power of the Lord is moving in this place. He comes to cleanse and heal, to minister His grace. No work too hard for Him. In faith receive from Him. Be still, for the power of the Lord is moving in this place.
And that's also for David and Sue Airy, who is one of their favourite on that album. So I think the time is coming. It's 22. Could you just do a little bit of telling them what's around, what's available? Can I just preempt it by saying, once have you got the stuff with you?
I have.
Oh, good. It's interesting looking at the people each week coming back and back and back to see us, and we thank you. We value this community in so many ways.
We value you so much, guys.
In so many ways. But it's something we've been starting to think about what happens after. What happens when all of this stuff ends. And for many people have been writing this week and saying, I just feel tired. I just feel, I don't know what to think. I don't know where we are. And it's that thing about having, Sue used an analogy which is quite useful, about an animal that you've kept caged because remember when we used to have Bonnie and she wasn't allowed out, so she had one of these collars on and she wasn't allowed to go in the garden, our dog, and then suddenly she was allowed to go out, and she put a foot out and she was looking at us saying, can we go? I'm allowed to go out? Am I allowed? Am I allowed now? And for so long we've been told messages that say can't go out. And for people who are shielding, particularly that song, I was going to sing Why Should I, you know that. Just bear with me. These things, it's difficult, and it's a difficult time, particularly when you see other people on beaches and protesting and all of that kind of thing, and you're saying, hold on, wait a minute, how does it not apply to them, to the 100,000 people on Bournemouth Beach, and it applies to me? And if you're if you're shielding and you've been told you have to shield until August or whatever, in the middle of August or whatever it is, and you're thinking, how can I make this? This community exists for you, actually. And it does. It exists for everybody. I want everybody to join in this thing, but it exists for you. And we don't want this to just come to an abrupt end. We have plans to go on and keep going. This is the way we're earning a living as well. And that's part of it too for us. It's been a reciprocal thing. You've been generous and kind, and we want to thank you for that. We were talking about it in the kitchen today.
We were.
That we couldn't have survived, actually. All of my community, and there's one guy who said to me, and I'm just going to say this, he said to me, everybody knows, they don't need you telling them that this is your job. Actually, I think you do need to know that all my colleagues, they're out of work, crews, lighting, cameramen, everybody they're not working. And nobody is earning any money at all. And so what you've done is you've enabled us to
supporting
earn,
us,
and plus you've supported others, and you've helped us keep going. And so that's where your money goes. It goes into equipment, it goes into new kit, and to Rachel and to Claire, trying to keep it going at the other end, in Barrow and Furnace where they live, and actually paying hire and piano tuners and everything else that goes, and also just keeping us on trips to Bermuda.
In your dreams, mate.
In my dreams. You understand. So actually, we thank you, and we do not take it for granted, is what I want you to know. So when you send £1 or £5 or £10 or 50 or 100, we value that, and that gets invested.
Whatever you send, it blesses us.
It does.
And it means a huge amount to us. So thank you.
You can send that, and you've got links that you can do. If you're not happy with that, send a quick message, and we'll give you our bank account details, and you can forward that. Remember, we give 25% of everything that we make will go this week to Alzheimer's Research UK, plus whatever you give to
directly to her Just Giving page. But that would be good to go there.
So, what can they buy, Sue?
Okay, so a number of people have bought things. Let me start with the
reviews.
Books.
People have been buying.
We've got the On a Similar Note, and we've got Finding My Voice, both of which are funny books. And this is the Finding My Voice. Several people have written to us saying, thank you so much. These are indeed very funny books.
Bonnie Rogers.
And they just have felt very uplifted from reading them. Just because Jonathan has got himself into many, many scrapes, and they are all very funny. So they're very quick, very easy
And
to
thank
read.
you for those of you who've written into us and said, I've just finished the second
It's
one. I
been
can't believe it.
fantastic.
Have you not
Been
written a
fantastic.
third one?
I know, I'm sorry. Perhaps we should have used this time to write book 3, but
We haven't had the time.
we haven't had the time.
Because we've been with you lot.
Alison earlier on said, can we buy the music books for these beautiful songs? I'm talking about making a mess. Yes, you can buy the music books. So we've got both of them, Hymns Project 1 and Hymns Project 2. And the music is very easy to follow. And
About grade 4, grade 5.
Yeah,
levels.
and you can be singing these lovely songs that Jonathan has written. He has sung tonight several from Hymns Project 1. That has been lovely, and he's sung Can't Run Away from this one, the Life and Soul CD, which has been fantastic, and you saw a clip from this DVD of Jonathan's audience with Jonathan Veira.
2005, that was.
Apart from the Hymns Project 2 things, everything is £8. You will never get this cheap again. We just want to be selling them, getting them out of the cupboard, and being able to pay the record company for us having them here. So
Which
we
we've
just
had so many.
Yes.
We'd love you to
So
put them in your
The cupboard
choice.
still looks pretty full, so it'd be great if you could be buying them, order them for your friends. We're happy to send them to people, and Jonathan will always sign them for you. That's not a problem. So either £10 or £8. You can go online at jonathanveira.com and you can have a listen to anything as well. And as we said, you can either donate through paypal.me/Jonathan Veira or through just sending us an email, and I'll send you our bank details. So thank you.
I did this yesterday. We're coming towards the end, but I did this yesterday on the test. And Stuart McCready asked for this one. And Stuart, if you're out there, this is for you. And I recorded this on the... Which album was this one?
This was on You Raise Me Up, on You Raise Me Up album.
The splendor of the King, clothed in majesty, let all the earth rejoice, let all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light, and darkness tries to hide, and trembles at his voice, and trembles at his voice. How great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God? And all will see how great is our God. From age to age he stands, and time is in his hand, beginning and the end, beginning and the end. The Godhead 3 in 1, Father, Spirit, Son, the Lion and the Lamb, the Lion and the Lamb. How great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God? And all will see how great is our God. Name above all names, you are worthy of all praise. My heart will sing how great is our God. Name above all names. of praise. My heart will sing how great is our God. Sing it with me. How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God, and all will see how great is our God. One more song. Across the changes through the years, eternal God, your love comes down to lead us on. So as we walk with you, our every step is holy ground. You are the God of endless love, Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. And we will seek to know you more in every word of every prayer, and you will keep your timeless faithfulness. Through every breath you will be there. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. If doubts and fears come closing in, we lean on you when strength may fail. And Father God, pour your Spirit down. The clouds will clear, the truth prevail. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. This is the hope for all the world. The nails that held God in our place. This is the love that brings forgiveness. This is the promise of His grace. You've been lovely, and I just want to say to Dan Bellamy out there, to Dan, just want to say this time when you've been made redundant and you're looking for a new job, wish you all the best. For Chloe, where she loves that song, Promise of His Grace, we sing that to you as well. And
can I just say something?
You can say something and then we've got to go.
To those of you who have very kindly wished me a very happy birthday this week, it has been a wonderful week. I have loved it. Thank you for all your kind wishes. And for those of you who were worried, he did indeed spoil me. And for those of you who might have been admiring what I'm wearing, he bought it on his own for me. He's a clever man.
Indeed I am. You should have seen me trying it on Marks and Spencer's.
Thank you for joining us. We love you very, very much.
The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you his peace, and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you, and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you his peace, and give you his peace.
Thank you very much. God bless you, and good night.